Hey there, YouTube. This is Vargas XX78 with part 2 of my collection pickups. So let's continue with the comic books. We got Witchblade issue 152. Witchblade's taking a backseat to this one. Patrick Gleason, her new boyfriend, is going to this prison where this massive serial killer is being held. But then all of a sudden, ghosts appear out of nowhere, and they start killing all the guards and everything. And they're not really clear if he's controlling them or if he just sees them and knows what's going on. But things are not looking good for Gleason. The ghosts are starting to overtake everything, and they lock them. They lock him, the serial killer or presumed serial killer now, and a cop in the precinct. So yeah, this is not looking good. The artwork's actually different. It's not done by the regular artist, but it's still cool. It's still a cool issue. Really dig Witchblade. And we got a big throwback to the 90s. We got Onslaught Unleashed. The Onslaught saga is actually one of my favorite X-Men books that spilled into the Marvel Universe. Onslaught was the fusion of all of Xavier's evil and all of Magneto's evil given form. So I thought the Onslaught character was really cool back in the 90s. So he came back a few years ago with the Onslaught Reborn thing, but he came back to the normal Pocket universe. And by the end of that issue, Nomad had crossed into the 616 universe. But now the Secret Avengers and the Young Allies, infiltrate the base, and that's I think experimenting with the negative zone. But then by the end of the issue, Onslaught takes possession of Nomad because they're linked somehow, and the Beast is the only one that knows that Onslaught's back. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the rest of this miniseries because Onslaught, like I said, was a really cool character. So really happy he's back. Then we got the last issue of the Astonishing X-Men miniseries, Xenogenesis. The Astonishing X-Men team that were traveling to Africa, stop all the Wraths or the Furies. I think they're called the Furies. Send everything back in order through the Ghost Box and basically save the day. Now, here's something I don't get. I thought that Astonishing X-Men was gonna get canceled because that's why they made the miniseries to give Warren Ellis one last Astonishing X-Men story. But then they came out with Astonishing X-Men issue 36. So I guess Astonishing X-Men was never canceled. Which makes the miniseries totally pointless. They could have done it on the regular series, but whatever. Warren Ellis, I like what he's doing with the X-Men, and this issue has a really cool wraparound cover. Basically, the Roxxon Corporation sent someone to Monster Island to gather information and stuff, and the guy that they send is able to control the monsters in Monster Island, so he takes them to where else? Tokyo, where Wolverine and Armor are attending the funeral of her parents. So yeah, it has all the zaniness of Warren Ellis. So just really confused why they didn't make Xenogenesis, into the normal Astonishing X-Men. I think it's Marvel. They make weird decisions. Then we got Fantastic Four issue 588, the final issue of Fantastic Four. Yeah, right. Within a year, when they reach the eventual 600, they're gonna go back to the numbering. So anyway, the final issue of Fantastic Four, dealing with the aftermath of the death of Johnny Storm. Again, yeah, right. We never see the body, and they leave a lot of story elements that could easily make, Johnny Storm return. But whatever. It's a good issue. It's silent. The whole issue is silent, much like the Spider-Man issue. But with the images that you see, they leave a lot of things up in the air for future storylines. So, Fantastic Four is done. It's gonna be called the Future Foundation. But I don't think I'm gonna pick that up. I was curious about Johnny Storm's death, and now that I've seen it, come on, it's the Marvel Universe. Nobody stays dead for more than a year. Then we got Uncanny X-Men issue 533 with another really cool Greg Land cover. Sublime or Loeb, whatever the heck he's called now, basically is going to unleash his new mutant serum to the world. Every normal person that has the money can buy it and become a mutant, while the X-Men are still dying off with the X1N1 flu, HXN1 flu. And Cyclops says enough of this. We're gonna be X-Men, and they're gonna rally back to stop Sublime. In the meantime, Emma Frost is still dealing with Sebastian Shaw, and things again are not looking that good for them. And we got Simpson Comics issue 175. Again, love the Simpsons, love them. So collect the comic books. Then we got Age of X issue 245, which is actually X-Men Legacy. I'm sorry about that. It's Age of X Chapter 1, X-Men Legacy 245. This one doesn't really show that many. It does point out some plot elements to what's going on in the new Marvel universe, but everything's still being revealed. And they introduce some new mutants and their place in the world. So it's an interesting storyline, but I'm only going to collect X-Men Legacy. I don't want to collect New Mutants to figure out everything. So then I got this free sneak peeks Marvel book. Basically showcases the new books that are going to be out, like Fantastic Four, X-Men Legacy, Ultimate Comics, stuff. But it's free. Price is right. And picked up Shonen Jump with a very interesting cover based on a movie that's going to come out. They're gonna. I'm really interested in seeing this. They're gonna put Yu-Gi-Oh, Yusei, and I forget his name, but all the main characters from the Yu-Gi-Oh anime into one movie. And that's interesting. I'm really curious about that. So, Shonen Jump, really cool. Well, that does it for the comic books. I also, like I mentioned, picked up some other stuff. And I actually want to start off with this really cool Dreamcast controller. This lady at Swap Me was selling a lot of, clothes and random stuff, and in that stuff she had a Dreamcast controller. Now, I needed to pick one up anyway because the one I have, the D-pad doesn't work that good anymore. It gets stuck on up or down or, doesn't work. So this lady had this Dreamcast controller, but she also had connected this performance memory card. It's not an official Sega one, but it has the same capacity. And they also had a Rumble pack for the Dreamcast. So this made me, put in all my old Dreamcast games to see which games were compatible with the Rumble pack. And some of the arcade fighters are not, but most of them are. Plus all the adventure games. So that really, brings a new element to the Dreamcast, the Rumble feature. I got this for 25 pesos, which is like $2 for the controller, the memory card, and the Rumble. So really happy about that. The same lady had two games. I picked up with her Sega Sports NHL 2K2. Not a big hockey fan. I don't really like hockey games unless they're the ones that came out on the Nintendo. But this one's actually pretty cool. This one's fun. I really like this one. And she also had World Series Baseball 2K2. Not a big baseball fan on video games. Just, I don't know, they just don't translate well, I think. And this one, both of them were 10 pesos each, which is like less than $1. But this one was fun. This one, not so much. So, but, they're Dreamcast games. Then during my comic run, I went to GameStop, and they had this game, Valkyrie Profile Covenant of the Plume, for $8.99. With my discount card, it came up to $8.80. So I really liked Valkyrie Profile on the PSP. I didn't get to play the one on the PlayStation 1, but I thought that was a really cool game. This one has the same sort of battle style where, your characters can attack depending on the press of a button, but they also introduced a strategy element to it. Kind of like Ogre Battle or Fire Emblem, where everything is on a grid and you have to position your characters so they can get the best attack. I thought that was interesting. They combined that with the normal fighting style of Valkyrie Profile. It has a really cool intro, and like Fire Emblem and Ogre Battle, it has the talkie heads with very limited animation. But so far, what I've played, I've liked. It's a really cool game. So really happy I got that. Also, inside the box was the instruction manual for Luminous Arc. So I guess if I buy Luminous Arc, I'll be able to use the instruction manual. At a swap meet, this lady was selling movies. So she had Ah My Goddess Volume One, Always and Forever. I read some of the manga, but I didn't know what, because again I read the manga that was already started. But this one is the first 5 episodes of the anime. Basically, it's about this poor guy, Keiichi Morisato, who's a really nice guy. He's always willing to help out people, but that of course leads to people taking advantage of him and treating him badly. Because of all his good deeds, Dandy, which is this, I guess you could call it an angel, comes to visit him, and she says that he can ask for one wish, any wish he wants, and she'll grant it. After very briefly thinking about it, he falls in love with Dandy and asks. He wishes that he and she can be together forever. So of course, she grants the wish. So now they have to be together forever. If they're separated for too long, she doesn't explain what, but something bad's gonna happen. So they have to be together always, and that leads, of course, to a lot of things happening, and him having to explain why this beautiful girl that knows magic is with him. So the animation is really cool, and I really like the story. So really happy I got that. That same lady also had this 2-in-1 double feature of Never Been Kissed and Uptown Girls. I picked it up for 2 reasons. I picked it up for a lot of reasons, but the main two are that this is not your typical 2 disc, double feature set. It actually has each movie, on an individual disc, and most two-in-one movie sets have the movie on one side and the other movie on the other side. So I thought that was cool. Also, I thought it was really interesting to see a Fox movie paired up with an MGM movie. I thought they were rival movie studios, but so I thought that was interesting. And also because I like the actresses that appear in the movies. I really like Drew Barrymore. I think she's really good. The other movie I really liked her on was 50 First Dates. I thought she was really good on that. And Brittany Murphy was also a really good actress. I was really bummed out to hear when she died, but I just like both actresses, so that was another reason why I picked it up. So, good movies. And that same lady had Kevin Smith's Jersey Girl. A lot of people really hate this movie. A lot of people think this is Kevin Smith's worst movie, right on up there with Mallrats. But I liked Mallrats because of the comic book references. So I've been trying to track down Kevin Smith movies. I still want Clerks 2, or Chase and Amy. But I saw this, and it's new. It's still sealed. I haven't actually gotten around to see it, but I decided to give it a shot. So after seeing it, I might tell you how that movie was.